Alright, hey, welcome back. It's the next day because life happens, and so yeah. So let's get back into the video. We were talking about, okay, so I think we left off at the C-section part. Alright, so they, everybody had suited up. I had got a spinal, and then they did the C-section. I was panicking during the C-section. So they do not like to put you to sleep before they take the baby out. But because I was panicking and crying and they couldn't calm me down, they had to give me the medicine because I felt the pain. They want to be talking about the pressure. I felt pain and I could smell like a burnt smell, because the lady, I guess that's what she used to cut open the line, my C-section. So then they took the baby out. I don't remember anything. My husband said he couldn't even see the baby, I guess, come out because I panicked. So they kicked him out of the room too. And then they hurry up and, finish and everything. And I also got my tubes tied as well. So fast forward, the baby coming out, everything was good with that. I'll insert a picture in, for that. And, I was able to breastfeed. When she came out, I was able to breastfeed. Hold on, just give me a moment and I'll come there. Kids. So, all that happened. They gave me the medicine, for COVID. I don't remember what it was called, but they had to give me medicine through like my IVs and stuff. And my husband was still there. Like I say, he was sick too. He was coughing. I guess he had chills and stuff. But he didn't know he, had COVID at that time. So I had a baby on Tuesday, so he stayed the night. And Wednesday, the nurse was like he had to go home, I guess, because she felt like he was coughing, or maybe she felt like he had some symptoms of the COVID or something. So then I told him, he just need to go to the doctor because he just thought he just had like a cold or flu or something. To find out that he had, I think he found out Thursday he had it. So I had the baby on Tuesday, and I was diagnosed on Monday. He found out Thursday, so he had it. So, like I say, I was breastfeeding the baby. So when he went home, I was trying to do the best I can, take care of the baby. I had to wear a mask. The baby was able to stay in my room with me. Like I said, I had my own nurse that would come in suited up and everything. And anybody that came in the room had to suit up. So if someone for pediatrics, not pediatrics, but if someone from the nursery came in, they had to do the same thing, like suit up and stuff like that. So after he went home Wednesday, I was able, just keeping her in my room but I was in so much pain, from the C-section and everything, that I needed help. So she had to go to the nursery. So in the nursery, because I had COVID, the baby did not have COVID. She didn't have COVID when she came out of the womb. She didn't have COVID in the hospital while she was there. She was delivered on Tuesday. She went home Saturday because I was still in the hospital. My mom had to get her. She went home. She did not have COVID the whole entire time. They tested her 2 times in the hospital. She didn't have it. And she was in a room with me. She still didn't get it. I wore a mask, and I was breastfeeding her and things like that and holding her and stuff. I always wore a mask with her. So, when you have a C-section, you have to be able to go to the bathroom. They had me on oxygen. I was on oxygen. I'll put pictures in there to show you guys that. But I wasn't just in like a lot of pain. I was able to move, I was moving around real slow. I couldn't have a bowel movement. It took me, I want to say it took me 3 or 4 days to have a bowel movement. Like I was struggling to have a bowel movement. And then I think Friday or Saturday, they moved me out of labor and delivery to the corona part of the hospital, which they had a whole floor for just COVID patients. They moved me to there. Like I said, everybody was nice to me. They know I just had a baby, and they probably felt like I was like gonna have postpartum. or whatever. I was doing a lot of crying, um, praying, and just wishing I had someone there. Because, like I said, my husband was sick. So, I would talk to him, but he was sick too. And then the only person that I could talk to was like, my mom. She'd check on me a lot, and my sister. But I didn't have nobody else to talk to while I was going through this. And I had one of my parents. She was, really nice and like helping me out if I needed anything, and she'll, talk to me too as well. But those was only three that I had. A lot of people probably weren't like, where was your friends at? Where was your best friend at? Where was, I can't even tell you because I don't know. But that's another whole story, girl time talk. We'll talk about that another story. But anyway, fast forward, the baby, it was time for her to go home. I think they were ready to release her Friday, but they told me they'll keep her till Saturday because they thought I was gonna go home too. And lucky, like I said, my mom. So I had to close down my daycare, so all that stuff like that. And my mom, she didn't have COVID. My kids didn't get COVID or have it. My mom didn't have it. She got tested. She had got tested. I think mom said that because my mom was coughing and stuff too, so she had the flu. They don't know what she had. They thought she had the flu because they tested her for COVID. I believe like the week before I went into labor, she got tested. She didn't have COVID. And then when I got in the hospital and I had COVID, I told her to get tested again before the baby came home, and she still didn't have it. So she didn't get it. So that's why, like, I try to, like, I don't think people understand. People think, oh, because one person get COVID, everybody get it. Because my kids didn't have it. My mom did. My mom was at my house every single day. My kids are there every single day. I'm around everybody. They didn't get it. Only me and my husband got it because we got it somewhere else at the hospital, like I was telling you guys. So, and they didn't get it the whole time I was in the house. My mom and my daughter was helping take care of me, like bringing me food, bringing me stuff. You know what I'm saying? Mom was bringing the baby to me to breastfeed and stuff like that. And they, everybody wore their masks and washed their hands, stuff like that. And they didn't get it. And they was around me, like, and like, close enough, not like here, but they were still close enough. And they still didn't get it. So COVID hits who it want to hit, apparently. I don't know, maybe COVID got a mind of its own, but whatever, here or there. So, that I was allowed to go home. Sunday. The baby went home Saturday. So mom had to come get her because they was like, well, somebody has to, come get her. She's, good to go home or whatever. So she went home Saturday, and then I had to go home Sunday. So my husband was home. He had to come get me. So we had to be isolated from everybody. So my husband stayed in our room. And then I stayed in my spare bedroom / office / storage room, whatever. So I had got a blow up mattress, and I stayed in here. Because, the baby, I was still breastfeeding her. So I didn't want to be in a room with him. And then she come and breastfeed. So I was separated. Because I was allowed to be around her. And she didn't get it, but so we just separated each other. And so that was that part of the story with that. So I was able to go home. I had to go home on oxygen. I was on oxygen for about 10 days. It was really bad. I lost a lot of weight. Between the tummy tuck that I had and COVID, I lost all my baby weight plus more. Like, I looked it so sick. I looked it so bad. Honestly, I looked like I was on drugs. If we want to be 100 about it. And it was so depressing. It was so depressing, so bad. I'm trying not to cry because it was just like a lot. Like, what I went through, I wouldn't wish that on nobody. I mean, having COVID is bad, by itself. But having COVID and having to deliver a baby, not being able to be with your baby, not being able to like really hold your baby, not being able to be a parent to your kids, and have to solely rely on somebody else, is very, very hard. Especially when you don't, not really, and I'm not a person that rely on anybody, so it was so hard for me. Because usually when I'm sick, my husband take care of me. He couldn't take care of me. I mean, he still had to help me do some stuff like drive me around and stuff like that because I was so sick. Hey, welcome back. My name is Mallory. Hope everybody doing good. Okay, so today's video, we're gonna jump right into it. We're gonna be we're finishing the Corona Part 2 video. Yes, I have something different on. It's a different day. So let's just get right back into it. Okay, so I left off talking about so after I had the C-section and everything like that. So we're at the part where, you know, they released me and I'm at home. So I got released on oxygen. So I had to wear the little, you know, thing like that. So I was doing that at home. So everything was good. You know, I just had to be at home. Couldn't really do anything between the corona, the oxygen, the C-section. It was just a lot. I was in like a lot of pain. So I was taking a little bit of pain medicine because I don't like pain medicine. So I was just taking a little bit. And then so, you know, mom had to help me out. I was still breastfeeding for a few days at home with the baby. I had to wear my mask on. So mom would bring her in for me to breastfeed. And that was, you know, bring her out that way. And I was just in a lot of pain. I was uncomfortable from the C-section, trying to like sit down, trying to get up, go to the bathroom, you know, doing your girl stuff because, you know, cycle be on and stuff like that. Now, fast forward. So I came home Sunday. Fast forward to Thursday, I had to get my staples removed. I did get staples for my C-section. My leg swelled up the day before. My left leg swelled up. It wasn't real swell, but by the time I went to the doctor Thursday, I had to, you know, I was going to the doctor's office to get it removed. It swelled. It was swelling. It was hurting. It was hurting for me to walk. I really wished I could have recorded, but like I said, my husband was sick. Mom was busy with the baby and then the other kids, and then I didn't really want nobody like around me or that close to me because I still had, you know, the virus. So fast forward, my leg was swelling, so it was hurting for me to walk to the doctor. You know, then my husband had to drive me to my doctor's appointment to get the staples removed. Got to the doctor's office in a lot of pain, barely could walk, barely can get out of my truck. Now, remind you, I drive Infiniti QX80, so my truck is really, you know, high. It's a high truck. But, you know, I had to, like, step on the, you know, little thing and then slide down. I was in a lot of pain. And even to get in the truck, it was a lot of pain. But my husband's car is too small. He drives a Camaro, and no, we're not doing that. So when I got to the doctor's office, I was, you know, waiting to be seen. So I got there, tried to get my staples removed. I got there, so the doctor told me, the nurse practitioner told me, and I got there, checked in. She was like, "Oh, we can't see you because you got corona. You need to go to the hospital to have them remove it." I guess that's their little policy, that's their rules. Every doctor's office is different. So, like I said, I had the baby the week. So, at that time, I had the virus 10 days. Okay. So, I was upset, crying, you know, really upset because I had to go back to the hospital. Now, remind you, that's where I got the corona from. And like I said, you have to go through the emergency room. She was like, "Oh, go to the emergency room to get the staples removed." So, and on top of that, I was in a lot of pain with my legs. So I just thought my legs swelled up just because, you know, all the stuff going on was swelling. I ain't think nothing of it, but it was painful. So when I got to the hospital, I checked in. I was letting them know, you know, I had the virus, so they pushed me to the side. You know, and told them I was coming to get my staples removed. The doctors sent the paper, you know, or a call or whatever. So they already knew. And so when I got there, I was telling them, hey, my leg was in a lot of pain and swelling, so. Then they see me about that too. And when they realized they were doing some tests and stuff like that, They look like, okay, your leg shouldn't be swollen like that. And I'm like, okay, you know, I just had a baby, C-section corona, so maybe just swelling, you know. And they were like, no, something else is wrong. So push, you know, fast forward, you know, they said I had blood clots. They had to put me on medicine because I was in so much pain. They gave me the IV through Motrin through the IV, which is really strong, works really good. That helped with the pain. And then they had to admit me again. And I was really, really upset because I didn't want to be admitted because the hospital is just not the best hospital. So I had to be admitted for that. And they had to put me on heparin. Yeah, through my IV. So I had two IVs in both my arms. I was on that and all that. It was a lot. It's just, so they did all these tests and all this stuff. I do like, had to get in a little machine. What's the thing called? But you know, they had to do all these tests and stuff with my leg and stuff like that. So they said I had blood clots. Now they told me I had blood clots, like little small ones that was in below my knee and like around the knee area. So they had to give me medicine. They said I'll have to put on Eliquis. So I was in the hospital from Thursday to Sunday. Okay, then they let me go back home and they telling me to keep my leg elevated. So they gave me this thing to put my leg in and keep it elevated and kind of stay off my feet. And, you know, don't do too much around the house. Now, how the hell I'm supposed to do that with 4 kids and I run a business? Okay, yeah. All right, so, you know, went home, you know, they put me on Eliquis, blood clot, you know, medicine. So I was on that. And I'm supposed to follow up with a doctor. Okay, so fast forward, that was Sunday. So I was, you know, trying to stay off my feet as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of pressure to put on someone. Daycare still was closed. So it's still a lot of pressure. You know, mama had the baby. Baby needs a lot of attention, you know, things like that. And, you know, I had my other kids at home. Even though they're bigger, they're a little more self-sufficient. But it's just a lot. Because basically I need someone to take care of me as well. Do you see what I'm saying? And my husband couldn't do it. He still was sick as well, too. And when I got home, Sunday, he still wasn't feeling good as well. So I told him he needed to go to the doctor and get checked out. And because he should still be feeling a little better. But find out that, you know, he had the same thing. He had blood clots as well. So he got admitted to the hospital. The same day I got home, he went to the hospital Sunday. And yeah, he got admitted Sunday. Yes, that's right, yeah. So, you know, the baby, it's just a lot. So, that's that. Went home, dealt with that. You know, tried to stay off my leg, but stuff had to get done. Cleaning bottles, you know, clothes need to be washed. You know, I had to hire a maid to come in to, like, help clean the house. Come on, you know, you don't want to put so much on one person. She only one person, you know what I'm saying? Everybody can't do everything that you can do. So, what I can do, as far as me running my daycare, taking care of my kids, cooking, cleaning, doing this and that, it could be a lot for someone else. So, you know, it was just a lot, like with the baby and stuff like that, and her helping me, you know what I'm saying, because I couldn't really do a lot. So I hired a maid to come in, because my house was a mess. So I had to hire a maid to come in and help. It was a mess to me. I mean, it wasn't like real dirty and so everywhere. It was just like a lot of stuff. I had a lot of boxes from ordering stuff. For, like, you know, I was doing a lot of Amazon, a lot of Instacart, a lot of this. Because I couldn't do nowhere, couldn't go nowhere, couldn't do anything. Mom didn't have time to go to no store. So she came in and cleaned up 2 days back to back to clean up my house. So that was needed. So my feet started swelling again. So I thought because I was getting up trying to do a little more, my feet started swelling. So Friday, my legs swelled up. Thursday, Friday, my legs swelled up again. Now this time it swelled up on the thigh area, and it was swelled at the bottom too, but it swelled up really, really on the thigh. And I had pictures because my thigh was like kind of like reddish. It was really, really swole and looked rashy. And I was in so much pain by Friday night. I had to go to the hospital again because it was so sore I could barely. It was worse than it was the first time. So I had to go back to the hospital, but I refused to go to the other hospital. So my husband had to drive me 45 minutes to Tipton in the hospital, and I went there, and it was really, really bad. And then everybody was just so shocked. You know, they had to hurry up and give me some pain medicine. And then, you know, I had to do tests, and they had admitted me again because, you know, it got so bad for me. So they had to, I got pictures of that. I will insert pictures of that. They put me back on oxygen a little bit, and then I had to see a pulmonologist, whoever does like blood clots. I think it's a pulmonologist or something like that. So I had to see him. You know, he wrapped my leg, you know what I'm saying, because it was really, really swole. So he wrapped it all the way down. So that was that, you know, and he, you know, they did a test, and he says blood clot. I had a really, really big blood clot in my thigh. And, you know, lucky I came in. So what looks like happens is that, like, you know, I still had a blood, like, around here. So maybe the week before, the blood clot was down here, so it moved up. And if I would have kept just, like, you know, not worrying about it or something like that, it could have moved up, and I could have died and could have went to my lungs. So I got really, really lucky that, you know what I'm saying, I went to the hospital when I did. So, like, dealing with certain situations, especially with the corona, we know our bodies, as in the person does. So I understand a lot of times people don't want to go to the hospital, especially right now. But if you don't, if you know something's wrong and you feel it, you need to go get checked out. Especially with blood clots. It's very, very dangerous. So they wrapped my leg. I had to stay in the hospital again. That was Friday. I think they released me Monday. So they kept my leg wrapped and elevated, and I had to stay off my feet as well, like in the hospital. So they had to put 2 IVs, and when you're on heparin, because it's a blood thinner, they have to keep coming to check you. Keep coming to check your heart, keep coming to draw blood and check you every few hours. Like, listen, like, it was just a lot. Like, between the drawing blood, the pricking, the checking, I could not get no sleep. And also I had postpartum depression as well. I was not sleeping. I'm talking about 3 hours a day. That's all I was asleep. So yeah, so that's pretty much, you know, it. The doctor did release me. I had to get a stocking to put on my knee, and wear that for weeks until it go down. I went to the doctor, I think after like a month. So he said it went down some, because they were saying maybe I need to get surgery, but nobody didn't want to do surgery on me to help with the blood clot because I just had surgery, which is C-section. So then nobody didn't want to do the surgery. So I was like, no, if y'all telling me maybe wait and just do the wrapping and then wear the knee thing, I'm just going to do that. And then we'll see where we are at 3 months. So it did go down a lot. You know, I still got to take the medicine, the Eliquis. I'm still taking that. And then sometimes it does swell if I'm doing too much. So, I mean, I'm not 100%. I think I will probably, I don't know how long it'll take me before I be 100% where I was before having COVID, you know, and the C-section and all this last time. But, you know, so I try not to, like, do too much, not too much on my feet. You know, I try to, like, sit down. I don't really have to elevate it, but I just try to, you know, monitor it and watch it and things like that. But that's pretty much, you know, it as far as the COVID. Like I said in the other video, blood clots is common for any type of, like, a lot of surgeries. So with the C-section it is, and it's also with the COVID. You know, the doctors are saying that, especially with younger people, I mean, I'm only 31, so they're saying they notice a lot of the younger people that when they get COVID, they do get blood clots. So, but they don't know which one mine came from. It could have came from either or a matter of both mixed. So I don't really know. They don't know. So I'm not going to just blame it on COVID, but I'm not going to blame it on C-section. It's one or the other gave it to me, or just both. Like I said, I had three C-sections before, and I didn't have blood clots. So, you know. And also with me being on the Eliquis, you know, for my blood clots, you know, my cycle was on for 8 weeks. Like, I don't know, was it with the tubes tied? Um, you know, because usually I had a C-section, my cycle's only on just the regular 7 days. I think maybe 10 the most after I have a C-section. This time it was on literally 2 months. Like, I had to keep going to the doctor. I had very, very bad blood clots. And I was reading that the Eliquis could do that. And then with the corona as well, the doctors were saying that some of their corona patients was bleeding longer. That was a lot in itself. And I would post like the pictures of the blood clots, but that's like TMI, like, too much. But like the blood clots, like I had one that was like this big, like this much coming out, a whole clot, and it was just a lot. I had to go to the doctor, had to keep going to the doctor. They was keep giving me medicine for like different type of medicines to like help with stop with the bleeding, and eventually one medicine I think helped calm it down, but that was already right at the end of the 8 weeks, so I don't know if it was just running, through its course, or the medicine really helped. But I think they gave me like 4 or 5 different prescriptions because nothing was working at all. So, but I could talk about that a little more I'm gonna do a pregnancy at the tummy tuck / postpartum video. So y'all stay tuned for that. And that, if y'all have any other questions, you can always leave a comment down below. You can message me on Instagram or Facebook. So I'll make sure I include that in, any questions you have, and just message you back about that. So yeah, that's pretty much my, COVID story. Make sure, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and just say hey in the comments, and let me know if y'all have any other, questions or things like that. But yeah, so I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see y'all on the next video.